Alright y'all, buckle up because the drama is heating up fast. Word on the street is that Diddy's adopted daughter, Ava Baron, has suddenly resurfaced and she's not holding back. Remember back in 2020 when Diddy made a big show of rescuing Ava, claiming he adopted her and even changed her name to Ava Baron Combs. He introduced her on Instagram Live like she was some kind of trophy, parading her around during the lockdown era. But shortly after, she completely disappeared. No updates, no appearances, just radio silence. Well, Ava is back now and allegedly carrying a vault full of secrets, not just about Diddy, but also about his sons. And the name that keeps surfacing, Christian. Now people are starting to question if Christian might have been more involved in this mess than we all thought. Could he have played a part in what Ava went through? Because if what's being said is true, things are about to get real ugly for him. Let's break down exactly what Ava had to say.
My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baron.
Ava Baron Combs? Yes, it's breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child. I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents but you're my child also. But please tell the story.
So, I was on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play with his kids.
Hey, that's like a little bit like borderline suspect. I don't want nobody, we want to get it clear. I adopted you like Madonna adopted kids and everybody else adopted kids, Charlize Theron, everybody that's ever adopted Sandra Bullock. I adopted you because I felt that you could, enjoy also having a black parent to take care of you and help you out. So, just clarify it because it's crazy out here online. So you played with the kids and I got permission from your mother. Say all of that because it's crazy out here.
Well, I met Jesse and Lila when I was 6 months old.
6 months.
And then basically sister, four of us. So,
6 months.
I always come over.
Yeah. And it's Ava Baron Combs.
The whole situation felt random, barely explained, and honestly left more people confused than inspired. Just as quickly as Ava Baron appeared in Diddy's life, she vanished. No follow-ups, no mentions, total silence. That silence lingered until Diddy's legal scandals started spilling into the public eye. For the longest time, people wondered where Ava went and why she stayed hidden. Now, word is, she's finally ready to speak and she's doing it on her own terms. And what she's saying about her time at Diddy's mansion? Yeah, it's far from innocent. Christian Combs might want to get a lawyer on speed dial, because if Ava's claims are true, things could get serious real fast. Back in 2020, Diddy's announcement looked like a feel-good moment, a billionaire adopting a homeless girl during a global crisis. It came off as generous, selfless, even noble. Social media ate it up. But if only we knew then what we know now. Looking back, it's raising all kinds of red flags. For one, fans noticed how Ava was only ever seen around Diddy and his sons, same sons who are now linked to serious allegations. Justin's been accused of helping Diddy solicit girls, and Christian has been sued for allegedly assaulting a woman. If this adoption happened today, it would set off alarm bells everywhere. Then there was Ava herself. Something always felt off. Her body language was stiff, her expression uncomfortable. The whole thing gave off a weird vibe. Viewers noticed and started questioning it. Was it just an awkward moment caught on camera, or was there something darker happening behind the scenes? You'd expect a girl getting adopted by a Hollywood billionaire to show at least some joy, especially during the chaos of a pandemic. But Ava looked like she didn't want to be there. And when she suddenly disappeared after that video, suspicions grew. As bad as it sounds, this isn't unheard of. Some adoptive families neglect kids or even send them away like they're disposable. So when Ava vanished, many assumed she was thrown back out into the streets. But now the rumor mill says it may have been far worse than that. There's growing talk that Diddy didn't just neglect Ava, he used her. More and more people are beginning to believe the entire adoption was a publicity stunt. It painted him as a savior in a time of crisis, boosting his image when the world was desperate for feel-good stories. But once the cameras stopped rolling, so did the act. Insiders claim Ava was homeless when Diddy found her and that he promised her a better life. But behind closed doors, it was all for show. Nothing about it was real. Even artists like Gan Deal have hinted that everyone in the industry knows the truth. The caring, generous Diddy we see in public is nothing more than a carefully crafted illusion.
Craziness, man. And you know what's so crazy is, bruh, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time. All these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this. It's a lot of stories that goes around in this industry about not just him, other people. Jimmy Iovine. Ain't nobody talking about Jimmy Iovine. He got charges and everything on him. But he got those publicists that's keeping it out off of CNN. It's keeping it off the major news reports. Nobody's talking about that. This is something that goes on, man, that they're gonna push up under the rug, and a few years later, Bad Boy 5, 6, 7, 8 will be out.
So what's really going on with Ava Baron, and why is her name suddenly back in the headlines? Well, the latest rumors are disturbing. Word is, Ava was allegedly exploited by none other than Christian Combs. Of all the men in that house, it's Christian who's being accused of this, and honestly, it's got people asking why. Reports say that while Diddy and Justin were preoccupied with their infamous freak-off parties, Christian allegedly turned his attention to the only young non-biological female in the house. And here's where things get even more concerning. Christian is the only one of Diddy's kids who has actually been hit with a sexual assault lawsuit. That case was filed last year, and it's messy. Christian's lawyers, well, more accurately, Diddy's legal team recently tried to get the case thrown out, but the judge dismissed their motion, which means it's going to trial. That move alone says a lot. Judges don't let cases like this proceed unless there's some serious weight behind the claims. So what is this lawsuit about? Christian was sued in April of last year by a yacht stewardess named Grace Omar. She said she was 25 at the time and working on a luxury yacht called Victorious in December 2022. When the Combs family leased it, according to the documents, Diddy had complete control over the yacht, its staff, and everything happening on board. And apparently, it got wild real fast. The suit claims the yacht turned into a party zone with a rotating door of suspected adult workers, and celebs, including French Montana and Cuba Gooding Jr. staff members, were disrespected. Some adult workers were passed out across the yacht. And Omar says you couldn't even tell which bottles were safe and which ones were spiked. Then, things took a darker turn. Grace Omar alleges that Christian repeatedly tried to touch her inappropriately and sexually assault her. But she was able to avoid him until one terrifying incident. Christian allegedly asked her to find him a place to sleep, and she suggested the cinema room since no cabins were free. Once inside, with only one way in and out, he reportedly blocked the exit, cornered her, became aggressive, and tried to force himself on her. The lawsuit claims he undressed, exposed himself, and physically tried to make her perform a sex act. She fought back, and luckily her partner on board entered the room, scaring him off. But after she reported the incident, she was fired. The emotional toll was severe. She claims the trauma led her to develop anxiety, panic attacks, an eating disorder, and even suicidal thoughts. Now here's where Ava comes back into the picture. Allegedly, Ava endured similar abuse while living at the Combs mansion. That, according to rumors, is why she vanished. She couldn't take it anymore, and ran. And now, with Diddy in legal trouble and Christian under fire, Ava may finally be ready to speak out. Word is, she could even take the stand in the upcoming trial. If that happens, this case could explode in ways no one saw coming. But what do you think? Is this the final crack in the Combs family's carefully controlled image? Drop your thoughts in the comments and stick around, because what's coming next might just blow this story wide open.